Hello world, my name is Richard and this video is about natural philosophy and I call it that because it's what the physics department in Cambridge used to be called. I believe that's correct, I'm pretty sure it's Cambridge. I think it went the one where Newton went, and I'm pretty sure he had a hand in calling it that name, natural philosophy, because he had a much better idea or concept of what it all meant, what the wording meant, than the word physics does. I was really disappointed when that change was made. I didn't go to Cambridge, but to change that title for what is much more suited to what we actually do as physicists is a shame, because it misses out the consciousness aspect, the person actually doing the physics. This kind of schism that's just kind of slipped in there. I do not like at all. So yeah, natural philosophy is about, I'll give you an example, the prime example. I've long been just impressed by quantum mechanics, as many other people have. What is it? Yeah. At the heart, you've got this kind of wave-particle duality. Yeah, and in other words, we perceive waves and particles. We have these concepts in our head. Apparently, they're in there. We believe they are. They appear to be. You know, these phenomena at the kind of atomic level, or less, have strange properties which we kind of big beings can't comprehend yet, and may never do so. To give an example of a laser, its very operation depends on it being kind of particulate, as we call it, as it's labelled, as the language is used. And that's used that way in order to help us explain and to understand it and to make it work. So the language is that way so that we can actually make experiments and make physics work and make technology. That is why the language is, that kind of language is used, because it's useful. It's a frame of reference that is handy to communicate with. But there's a bias as to what's actually going on. Because I think now, I think I share this with other people, probably almost certainly, and definitely in the Eastern Mississippi field, that it's all kind of wavy. Yes, they have to put a butter perhaps on them. Yeah, everything's kind of vibrational and frequencies and wavy. And these kind of individual things are just concentrated energy of some kind. How that occurs is a mystery, and why is also a mystery, or perhaps it is, not quite sure. Mysterious, that's sure. Still a mystery. Yeah, I think so. Another example, but the laser thing is based on the actual technology. The whole concept is based on a kind of particular kind of view. But when the light is shined through a double slit experiment, you get the actual interference patterns, as if it's a wave. Now, strictly speaking, we don't know what happens when the light leaves the laser device and travels at the speed of light in whatever the medium is at the time, and then hits the slits and then gets into two sources which are kind of synchronized and coherent, and they interfere with each other and form these interference patterns which are clearly wavy in nature, like literally wavy in the sea or whatever, or in the pond. They interfere too. So I think my conclusion after a long thought is this appearance, these particles appear to be things, with boundaries, but there are no boundaries in actual reality, because it's all wavy, and these waves extend to infinity, whatever infinity is. They just carry on. Our energy carries on. It is. There. And it's just vibrating. So very, very kind of mystical, mysterious view, but I think that's very close to what a very kind of Occam's razor view, is the one that's most suitable, most accurate, I think, most useful to kind of get a better comprehension as to what we can say is happening at that level. These particles, these atoms, these electrons and whatever, these photons, appear to be things, but they're still vibrating. We know that. And therefore they're kind of wavy, because they just are. They're just connected to everything, everywhere, there's energy everywhere. Therefore, vibrating energy. It just appears as particles. Quite how is a mystery. We may never know. But that's a kind of, I think is a good example of what is meant by natural philosophy. It's a metaphysical approach and a kind of aware approach of what the language and what the concepts have to, or should be included, the ones that should be included, be aware of, that one should be aware of. It's hard to talk about. This deep stuff, the awareness of the concepts that we are using, the language we're using, the behaviour we do, the way we are. The medium is the message, as McLuhan said. Yeah, the medium is the message. I think that's the conclusion of what the kind of natural philosophy is all about. The medium is the message. As well as what the actual content is, the actual way it's said, what words are used, the people saying it and their observations, their perceptions, all part of the whole, all vibrating, all coherent in some way or other, all particulate. It's all very, very mysterious, but that's what appears to be happening. So that's our wave goodbye. Whatever. Cheerio.